Good evening, viewers, and welcome to tonight's regional news. We begin with news from Barbados. Residents across Barbados are being warned to leave nothing to chance as officials continue to monitor a strong tropical wave approaching the island chain. Director of Department of Emergency Management, DEM, Kerry Hines, on Wednesday, urged residents to pay close attention to weather advisories and to take the necessary precautions. By now, the director said persons should have started their preparations for the hurricane season, which include stocking up canned items and bottled water, having a first aid kit and a go bag in case they need to leave their home in an emergency, securing all important documents in a waterproof container, and having an adequate supply of emergency lights. In addition, she said persons should seek to reinforce their windows and doors, secure all loose objects from their patios and around their homes, and trim trees to avoid having overhanging branches. Hines called on residents to look out for vulnerable persons within their communities and to join together to clean up neighborhoods to mitigate the possibility of flooding. Now for news from the twin island of Antigua and Barbuda. The Antigua and Barbuda government has successfully tabled a motion to extend the current state of emergency, even as opposition legislators complained of the hardships being experienced by citizens as the authorities seek to curb the spread of the coronavirus. The state of emergency was due to expire in June 28 and has now been extended to September 30. The government had also indicated that the hours of curfew would remain from 11 p.m. to 5 a.m. each night. Prime Minister Gadson Brown, defending the decision to extend the state of emergency, told legislators that it does not prescribe any specific restriction, neither does the Public Health Act. We now turn our attention to Colombia. Colombia reached 100,000 confirmed deaths from COVID-19 this week, becoming just the 10th country in the world to hit the grim milestone. The South American nation of 50 million has been registering a growing number of daily cases since April, and over the past 7 days, it had the world's third highest per capita death rate from COVID-19, according to data published by Oxford University. On Monday night, President Ivan Duque blamed anti-government protests that began at the end of April for many of the fatalities, saying that the deaths could have been avoided if Colombians had not held large gatherings over the past 7 weeks. The rise in cases comes as the government lifts some of the last restrictions it had put in place to control the spread of the coronavirus. In Trinidad and Tobago, outraged Trinidad and Tobago nationals on Sunday accused U.S. actor Michael B. Jordan of cultural appropriation with the launch of his new rum named Juve. Following this accusation, the actor issued an apology on his official Instagram page saying, I quote, "I just want to say on behalf of myself and my partners, our intention was never to offend or hurt a culture we love and respect and hope to celebrate and shine a positive light on. I hear you and want to be clear that we are in the process of renaming." End of quote. And finally, the highly contagious Delta variant is the fastest and fittest coronavirus strain yet, and it will affect the most vulnerable people, especially in places with low COVID-19 vaccination rates, World Health Organization officials warned Monday. Delta, first identified in India, has now spread to 90 countries and has the potential to be more lethal because it's more efficient in the way it transmits between humans, and it will eventually find those vulnerable individuals who will become severely ill and potentially die, Dr. Mike Ryan, Executive Director of the World Health Organization's Health Emergency Program, said. Ryan said world leaders and public health officials can help defend the most vulnerable through the donation and distribution of COVID vaccines. And that is all for your regional news. Thank you for joining.